Hello and welcome back to another SouthernAirs video with myself, Matt Banjoman Walker.
Hello, Jett, McDowell at your service.
And Zuza.
And today we are at
The Norwegian Armed Forces Museum in central Oslo.
We're going to have a little look around the museum, sort of spend a couple of hours in here, and then sort of see where the day takes us afterwards. Hopefully we're going to show you all the unique and wonderful exhibits in here, so let's get to it. That's actually good to know that they actually do, on the little boards over there, they do information of what the exhibit is, but they do actual English translation on individual pieces of paper, as Zuza is lovingly displaying right there.
So, in the early 1950s, in the wake of World War II, the Korean War took place, which was early rumblings of what was going on in the Cold War. You had Soviet and Chinese-backed North Korea versus the South Korea backed by the US and the Allies, including NATO. And the Norwegians, while they did take part in the Korean War, they didn't actually provide combat troops for the war. They actually provided medical supplies and medical expertise from their armed forces. So, for those who are American, remember the American TV series MASH, which is an abbreviation of, if I read this correctly, the Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. The Norwegians had NORMASH, which was basically the Norwegian attachment, and they were involved with the Americans and Allies on the medical front in the war.
I was actually just about to mention once an early version of a blood transfusion machine. It's just quite unique to see in person. It's clever how they've actually got these displayed. Oh, there's a dog! Yeah. Looking like it's actually driving in sort of the desert. That's pretty cool. Up on the first floor there looks to be a lot of sort of Viking memorabilia and swords, and especially just by the stairs. We saw some of these just a second ago here, and I just asked Tyler, how much do you think these are worth? They are priceless. But it's funny how on the same floor you go from Vikings to what looks to be around Civil War era, 1800s.
So, from our perspective, this is the late Georgian period, possibly up to the early Victorian era, around the time that Nelson battled the French and the Spanish Trafalgar.
Yeah. Finally going into the later periods of weaponry, cannons, armour. Oh.
So this is kind of reflecting of the Napoleonic era, and subsequently, from our perspective, the Victorian era.
Yes. So in here you go from a cannon to a bomb. Gas masks, they've always creeped me out. And that's not just because of Doctor Who, but they've always like really creeped me out.
So in 1940, the Germans decided to start marching through Scandinavia. They took Denmark within a couple of hours, and Norway lasted 62 days. British and French troops and military efforts did attempt to repel the German advances in Norway. Unfortunately, the French obviously they fell at Dunkirk and Paris, and obviously Norway itself also would fall at the same time, owing to the Germans' superior tactics and equipment at the time. And it led to the occupation of Norway during World War II, which would last all the way to April 1945.
This little model section shows many ships, some destroyed, some in battle, but it just goes on and on and on.
That is a wonderfully huge diagram.
Someone has spent many hours, days, maybe months even on this.
So, after the sinking of the Bismarck in 1941, the German Kriegsmarine pulled out this new superboat called the Tirpitz, and the RAF and the US Air Force spent years of the war trying to sink and destroy this boat, to varying degrees of unsuccess. But towards the end of 1944, the RAF finally destroyed or at least damaged the Tirpitz enough to get it scuttled using these types of bombs called Johnny Walkers or tall boys. Yes, and so bombs like this would have been dropped from the likes of Henry Page Halifaxes, Avro Lancasters. So the ship was scuttled at the end of the war, and between 1948 and 1957, what was left of the boat after it was attacked was basically scrapped by a joint German-Norwegian collaboration by 1957.
Oh god.
Watch your head.
Yeah. Oh. It's a bit of a tight fit, isn't it?
Yeah, tell me. I say, what a nice armoured vehicle we got here. Oh, what's this?
It's huge. And I'm having a look at this door a second ago. I would not want to get my hand caught, and it looks like it will hurt just a bit.
For those wondering how he got in, do you want to show us coming out, Matt?
Oh yeah, sure.
Like that.
So that was the military museum in Oslo. What do we all think?
Pretty nice collection. Very informative history about the military activities in Norway from way back to the Middle Ages up to modern day events. Bit of a side note, for those who remember the Scandinavian Odyssey that was filmed with me and Mitchell, we covered the aviation collection up by Gardermoen. It is unfortunate, unlike this one, that one's only open 2 days a week. This one seems to be open all week, except for obviously certain holidays.
Yeah, which we'd like to try and do again one day. I'd like to see that myself.
But we all had a good time though.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for watching this little SouthernAirs video. We hope you enjoyed this video. Safe travels, my friends, and we shall see you again in the next one.
Bye.